Hello and welcome to Help I'm a Teacher. My name is Alistair and this is Teacher Tips Tuesday. These videos give you little tips, tricks and ideas to help you succeed as a substitute teacher. Today's video is about how to become the preferred teacher in your preferred school. There are so many advantages to being the preferred teacher at a particular school. One is you're going to know the classes a lot better. You're going to be seeing the same students quite a lot. You're going to know the teachers. You're going to know office staff. You're also going to have an understanding of the environment and what is available to you. So I'm hoping today by giving you these 5 tips, you're going to go one step closer to being the preferred first call teacher at that local school that you love and you want. Tip number 1, guys, this is going to sound like a no-brainer, but I have seen way too many substitute teachers not do this. And that is treat the office staff with respect. These lovely people know the school. They know the ins and outs, they know the bell times, they know the students that are in your classrooms. They're going to know the environment and they're really going to help you. And if you treat them with a little respect and a little bit of love, it's going to go a long way. A happy smile, a how are you going, and learning their names is really going to give you that little 1% edge on substitute teachers who really don't. And I've seen it. I've watched how some teachers treat the office staff. And to be honest with you, it's not nice. Treating the office staff with a bit of love and respect is really going to go a long way for you to be the number 1 call teacher. They will talk, and they do talk to the deputy principal and the principal and other staff members. Your name will go so far if you're smiling, you're happy, and you're treating them with a bit of love and respect. Tip number 2 is get to school early. Now I'm talking about half an hour to 40 minutes earlier. Now obviously that's hard if you get called early in the morning and you're just having to race out the door, but if you know you're going to be in a school, especially if this is a new school that you've never been to before, getting to school 30 to 40 minutes earlier is going to allow you time to understand where the bathrooms are, the environment, look at where your classroom is, understand what resources are available for you, talk to teachers and the office staff and get a really good understanding of that school. It also shows that you're reliable and you're a bit of a go-getter. You got in there early because you're keen and you want to do a good day. Tip number 3, this one's a bit controversial and listen, this might just be my opinion, but this is something that I've learned. Be a sweet smelling breeze, don't be a lingering smell. What that means to me is, I don't hang out in the staff room. I just don't. I will get into the staff room, I'll say hello, I'm Alistair, it's nice to meet you, I'll grab my food and I go out the door. I'll either be hanging in my classroom marking my work or be out in the playground, kicking a ball for the kids, talking to the teachers on duty, or just sort of getting an idea of the environment. Why don't I hang in the staff room? Well, 2 reasons. One is I don't like to get caught up in the politics. Anybody who's had a full-time classroom knows every school has their politics. As a substitute, you just want to kind of get out of the way. You just don't want to be involved in that. So I try to remove myself from any situation where I might get pulled into any politics. But the second one is, if you're out and about, kicking a ball, you're outside helping other teachers on duty, or in your classroom marking, teachers see that. And the hiring teachers, your deputies and your principals, see that as well. They'll see you outside when you're not even on duty, kicking a ball around for the kids. They will see you in the classroom marking your work. These are the little steps and little 1%ers that you can do to become the number 1 call teacher at that school. Number 4, this is a non-negotiable. If you're watching me right now, I'm going to tell you that 60 to 70% of teachers do not do this. And when you do this, it is going to give you such an edge over other substitute teachers. Leave the classroom neat and tidy and mark all your work. Mark all your work. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen teachers who just pack up the books, put them away, and they're out the door at 3 o'clock or when the bell rings. Stay behind, get them work marked. The teacher will be so thankful and they'll be singing your praises. Now, in other videos, I'm going to show you some real little tips and tricks that I use for marking all the work, but don't think just because you're there for one day that you shouldn't mark the work. Everything that you set should be marked, and you can either put the books away, let the teacher know, or I like to leave the books open, all marked on the teacher's desk so they can see it's been done. This leads perfectly into tip number 5, which is leave a personalized note for the teacher. I've seen so many different classroom notes and notes left for the teacher, and most of the time it's usually just a ripped out piece of page or an A4 piece of white paper with a little bit written down. I'm talking about personalized. I'm talking about something that's printed in your bag, and I've got an example of that in the description below if you'd like to download. Something that has your name on it, the class you are teaching, and the teacher's name that you're relieving at the top. Have a nice written note, and then I like to split it up at the bottom with students who are well behaved, who might need an award, and maybe the students who are a little bit challenging in the classroom, who the normal teacher might want to just have a conversation with. Having a personalized note goes a long way. Again, it's these little 1%ers that are going to help you become the preferred teacher in that school. But that teacher is going to sing your praises. Just like if you leave the classroom neat and tidy and all the work is marked with a nice personalized note, it is going to set you up to getting more days at that school. Now, in the personalized note, this is very important. Always keep it positive. I don't care if this was the worst day of your life as a teacher, using constructive criticism and positive words to help relay that situation. So I like to use, thank you so much for allowing me this day on your classroom. So-and-so was good. We got through this much work. These certain kids were a little bit challenging. This is what happened. Always do it in a positive way. No teacher wants to get in after a day off saying, your classroom was terrible. I had the worst day ever. So-and-so wouldn't stop doing this. I cannot stand your class. I will never teach here again. Or something like that. I'm telling you, there is nothing worse than a teacher hearing that the next day. Try to wrap it all up in nice positive words and a nice positive message for the teacher. And today I've got a bonus tip number 6, which is actually going to link you to my ABC video, which is always be callable. If you are ABC, it's going to go a long way for you to being a reliable teacher. So please, if you haven't seen that video already, the ABC, always be callable. I've got a link for that in the show notes below. Those are my 5 tips for becoming the preferred substitute teacher at your preferred school. What did you think of them? Have you got any more? If you've got any other ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I might do a follow-up video to this because I'm sure there are just hundreds of tips that we could come together as little 1%ers so that you can become the preferred teacher at that school. As always, it's an absolute pleasure putting these videos out for you. If you did like it, you did find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And why not subscribe? I post every Tuesday on Teaching Tips Tuesday. I do lesson plans and lesson ideas every Sunday. Why not give my social media a follow? They're in the show notes below. And until next time, this is Help, I'm a Teacher. My name's Alistair, and bye for now.